Everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another 911 review, y'all. This episode was really good. Connie Britton made her return for the episode, okay, as Abby, Buck's ex-girlfriend who left him and never came back because she had to go find herself. Well, she finds herself on the train this episode living her best Oriental Express dreams, and I'm like, girl, I know. When they had that area of the train where the sky part was like glass, I was like, oh my god, I want to go. This looks nice. Like, did y'all see the train? The train looks so dope. I love a good train ride, okay? And yes, I am an Agatha Christie Oriental Express Puro okay type person, so I'm here for all of this. And then we see everybody back at the fire station. Eddie and Hen and Chimney and Bobby and Buck and everybody are congregating. Hen is taking a test for medical school. She is trying to study for her MCATs. She isn't doing the best right now, and she knows that she has to do the best in order to become a doctor at her age. Eddie is thinking about sending Christopher to a sleepaway camp, but he doesn't know how he feels about it. But Bobby tells him it was like one of the best times he had in his life growing up when he went to a sleepaway camp. So he should definitely think about it. Athena calls Henrietta to ask her if she can have May's graduation party at her house, because when she came home from the hospital, her living room was a construction site. Y'all remember Michael went over to the house to help Bobby feel better, so they just started destroying Athena's living room. I was just like, y'all didn't fix shit yet? Y'all just was beating the hell out of the walls? Like, oh, okay, construction site, gotcha. We also find out that Michael's tests are back, and we're gonna find out if his tumor has grown, shrunk, is the same. We're just gonna find out if the chemo or anything he's been doing has actually worked. So Maddie talks to Josh about his witness impact statement that he's given, you know, for that guy Greg that beat him up and then took over the 911 call center so that they can rob that art museum. Y'all remember that? That was what, last episode or the episode before last? I can't remember. Or both of those episodes. Either way, we remember this. He has to go to court, and Maddie is telling him that he needs to say how he feels. Like, we all know what happened. We can read that in the case file, but we need to know how this has made you feel as a person. It gotta come from the heart. So y'all, then we see Rumi Willis. Okay, Rumi Willis is on this episode. She's annoyingly beating on the back of a man's seat on the train, and it seems like it's going on for hours. He's ignored her, and finally he's like, hey, stop. I was just like, how could she just continuously be beating on the back of this man's seat like that, like it was cool? And she's like, hey dude, I have a gig coming up. He's like, I don't give a shit about your gig. I'm trying to get some peace and quiet in here. And then this other guy who we find out later is Abby's fiance, Sam. Okay, he's just waking up when he hears all the commotion. He's like, oh, she's just a kid, leave her alone. And I'm like, shut up, Sam. Okay, nobody's beating on the back of your chair so you can sleep. Shut the hell up. And then the crash happens. Apparently the train tracks were off or something like that. I don't know what was happening, but we just saw the train tracks moving, and then the crash happened. So right before the crash, there's this nicely built, middle-aged, Latino-looking man. I don't want to say, you know, because he was just brown. He was brown. He wasn't black. He was brown. Okay. And he is in a trailer with his kid at an RV park. He's trying to fix the trailer. You can tell they're going through a rough time right now, right? The guy who owns the RV park is like, hey, it's been 3 days. You haven't paid me. Get the hell out of here. Okay, and the guy runs back to the RV owner's office trying to talk to him. Look, man, I'm here with my kid. I didn't want to say this in front of him. Please give me a chance to get a job and get you the money. Just please give me a chance. And the man stands up. No, I'm done with this. He's about to go off on him and tell him that he's not going to help him. You know, just be a totally bad person when somebody is down and out. It's a fucking RV park, dude. Like, you're not making that much money anyway. Are you really losing out that much by letting this dude park his RV right there for a little while so he can get the money? Like, I just kind of feel like it really wasn't taking no food out of your mouth to let him stay parked right there. And you never know, dude could have probably came back and gave you the money. I mean, he probably would have came back and gave the man the money if he would have done right by him. But you know, people are like that. But just as this man is standing up to be a complete and utter asshole, the train comes rushing into his office, killing him. The other guy got away, and when he goes back out into the RV park to try to find his son and his RV, it's missing. The RV, his son, gone. And there's just all this wreckage all over the place from the crash. And then we see Dr. Kara, okay, aka Brooke Shields, coming over to Athena's house to talk to her about the victims and basically go through the case files so that she can help them when it's time for them to get on the stand and testify against the realtor rapist, is what they're calling him, right? Really, Dr. Kara is there to talk to Athena because he beat the hell out of Athena. Like, he almost killed her. It was bad, okay? And she hasn't added her case file to the group of victims because she feels like, as a cop, that she should have known better. She's been a cop for 30 years. She should have known he was behind her. He shouldn't have got the drop on her. Blaming herself like any other victim would, but at the same time feeling like a victim shouldn't blame themselves. She's a police officer. She doesn't see herself as a victim. But Dr. Kara had to get her to understand you're a victim just like all of these other women, and you have to deal with that pain just like everybody else has to deal with the pain that he inflicted on them. But one of the reasons that she's not dealing with it is because she doesn't really remember it. But she doesn't want to remember it. All she remembers is after he hit her from behind in a fight, she woke up in the ambulance and the look on Bobby's face, you know, made her think she was about to die. And that really scared her. It shocked the shit out of her. And she's not as ready to get back to work as she's letting on. Bobby and everybody else thinks she can't wait to get back to work. But really, she's scared. And she doesn't know if she wants to continue to put her life in danger in this way at this age, at this point in her life. But Dr. Kara leaves her alone with her case file so she can go through it and, you know, try to remember and think about the things that happened to her and decide if she wants to be a part of, you know, the case as a complainant. So y'all, Abby calls 911 and Maddie takes the call. The emergency services are on the scene. Abby is there and she's trying to find her fiance Sam, and Eddie is trying to get her to stop because she's trying to go, you know, into the area where the train is, and he's trying to stop her. And then Buck comes over and we realize who everybody is. You know, this is Abby, Buck's ex, and she says, I'm trying to find my fiance. And Buck is like, your fiance? Well, I'll make sure we bring him back to you, I promise. And he made that promise, so Buck wasn't gonna break that promise to Abby. So they get to work. And it just so happens that the train car that Sam, Abby's fiance, is on is vertically up in the air. And it's not stable. So they have to climb up through the inside to find people. And they find Sam and they find Rumi Willis, who are both stuck on both ends of a beam. So when they were trying to push the beam away from him to get him out, it was pushing it into Rumi. Because I didn't get her name, so I got to call her by her real name. So they don't know what to do. They can't save both of them. They have to save one of them. That's what Bobby said. Buck is not trying to hear that. Buck is willing to sacrifice himself to cut on the outside of the train so that they can pull the girl out from the side of the train. That way they can pull that beam out of Sam and get him out safely. And at first, Bobby was not trying to hear it. And Buck gonna tell him, I'm not Athena, Bobby. It's like, hold up. You're not Athena. That's correct. But you've been in the hospital more than enough times for everybody, okay? So please calm down, Buck, okay? Nobody needs a train falling on top of you because it's not a fire truck, okay? And Bobby wanted to make sure he understood that, all right? But they go ahead and they suspend him up there on the top of the train, and he's cutting the side out, and it starts to shake and rumble, and we scared because we don't know, you know, we don't know. It could have failed, but it didn't. They got Rumi out. They got Sam out. Of course, Abby is standing there watching as Buck saves the damn day, you know, and then she gets in the ambulance with Sam, and she's looking back at Buck, and Buck is looking at her, and they're going to have a conversation later. But for right now, they get into the ambulance and ride off into the sunset. Now, Henrietta and Chimney, while all this was going on, found Milo, the nice-looking, broad-shouldered brown man, his son, okay? Child. They found his son under some wreckage. Apparently, his skull had disconnected from his spine, okay? So he's sitting like with his head like this, and his back is straight. And I'm like, oh my God, he can't move. He can't move. He can wiggle his toes, but he couldn't move. His brain was still sending impulses to his body, but the skull wasn't connected to the rest of his vertebrae. It's called an internal decapitation. Y'all, I was like, oh my God. I'm sorry, but that, oh my God, like that creeped me out. out, y'all. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this dude's head is not really attached, but he's still alive. And then when they finally got him laid out on the stretcher, his brain sent impulses to his body for him to stop breathing, so he passed out. And then Henrietta had to intubate, but it was hard to intubate because his skull isn't connected to the rest. It was just like, oh my God. So they had to pick the head up to put it in there so he could breathe. And of course he ended up being okay, but oh my God. Ugh. So we see that Josh finally got to have his day in court, you guys. And he sat there and he looked Greg in the eye and he told him, after this, I have the option to never think about you again. But you're gonna go and sit in a box and you're gonna think about me every day because I'm the reason why you're in there. So yeah, I win, you lose. I'm embedded in your brain, bitch. In the words of Candy. Michael goes to the doctor and he finds out that his tumor has decreased by 30%, you guys. So yes, Michael is doing better. Yes, Rockman Dunbar is still gonna be on 911 next season. Thank you, Jesus. And then he runs into that cute little chocolate doctor in the elevator. So where were we? Where were y'all? Y'all, Abby and Buck talk later. And she thanks him for saving Sam. And he asked her if she knew when she left that she was never gonna come back. And she says, look, I was so used to my life being about my mom and everybody else at the 911 call center that I had to go and find myself. And when I found myself, I felt like if I had come back here, I would lose myself all over again. Okay, so that's how she explains it to Buck. And Buck understands. Buck wants her to be happy because she deserves it. And then the graduation party. They actually do have the graduation party at Athena and Bobby's place. And it's a Stone Cold groove. Everybody's having a good time eating cake. Athena is pretending she's ready to get back to work. Buck apologizes to Bobby for being an asshole. And of course, Bobby forgives him. Eddie sends Christopher to the sleepaway camp. And then he had like this little card. And he was like, everything's gonna be okay, Dad. You're gonna have a great time, Dad. It was so cute. I was like, I love Christopher. Oh my God. And then Henrietta studies more for the MCATs and she takes another practice test with Karen and her son and she passes. So yay, everybody. Things were looking up on 911. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all are taking care of yourselves. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.